friends, welcome to my channel and welcome back to some of my favorite videos to film, an unhaul. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 books here that I'm going to talk you through that I've gotten rid of recently. Some of these will not be surprising because I've already talked about them in my try a chapter tag or my wrap up, and you can probably guess what most of these books are. But if you haven't seen any of these, surprise, I'm getting rid of more books. I'm really focusing on not hauling and bringing in more books to my already massive collection and getting rid of books that I either didn't enjoy and aren't going to reread, or books that I just have no intention of reading. So without further chit chat, let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the books that I read in January that I no longer want to own. We All Looked Up by Tommy Wallach. This was a 1-star book. This was awful. I hated it. I'll probably end up donating this to somewhere, local bookstore, I don't know, but I'm going to get rid of it. Another book in January that I didn't hate as much as that one, but still didn't enjoy. This is 4-Letter Word by Krista Desir. It was fine. It was a 2-star. It annoyed me in places. It pissed me off in places. This is just one of those YA books that was pitched as a thriller, but isn't thrilling. And it's kind of boring in a lot of places. It's kind of like a contemporary where the teens make bad decisions. So this wasn't what I thought it was going to be, and I didn't enjoy it. If you're interested in what this book is about, it's about a group of teens that are seemingly unconnected, that go to the same high school, who find out that a meteor is plummeting to Earth and might hit them and might kill everyone, might just like kill the planet. So their lives change, obviously, but like some shit goes down in this where I'm like, you aren't teenagers, you're adults in disguise. And there's a really problematic rape scene in here. A man is writing a girl being raped and has her internal monologue being disgusting and problematic and wrong, and I don't think this should be given to teenagers. This is about a group of teenagers who decide to play a game where they have to like play capture the flag with words, but the only way to like get the letters that you need is either by being like sexual and inappropriate or having secrets and blackmailing the other players. So all of them have secrets and one person knows all of them. So yeah, it was fine. Teenagers making bad decisions. Then we have The One Memory of Flora Banks. I gave this a 3-star. I didn't hate it by any means. There were parts of it that I was like, nah, but I'm not going to reread this. It was painful and it made me mad, but in a way not like Tommy Wallach did. Tommy Wallach made me mad in the I'm pissed at the author kind of sense. This made me mad at, you wanted me to be mad at a character, and I had real passion in that anger. I have found that I will up a rating of a book if you are really good at frustrating me. If your intention is to frustrate and anger me and you do that and I'm like passionately mad, I up your rating. This was a 2-star. I got really pissed at a character toward the end. 3-star. I liked the twist at the end. This is about Flora Banks, who has not been able to create a new memory since she was 10 years old. So she has to write on her hands and in a notebook to remind her of where she is, because she can only remember like 1 to 3 hours at a time, and then it wipes clean and it's like she doesn't know what happened. So if she fucks up and wrongs somebody, she doesn't remember. So the people that she wrongs will have to remind her. So interesting premise for sure. Really slow in places, other times pretty good. But I'm not gonna read it again. Next up, we have the books from my try a chapter tag. I was able to get rid of half of the books that I try in that video, and most of these are the ones that I couldn't even get through a chapter of. So this is Confess by Colleen Hoover. I'm pretty sure like a guy and a girl are gonna get in a relationship, but the guy has secrets that the girl doesn't know about. Ooh. I don't have any interest in ever reading Colleen Hoover ever again. I read Ugly Love when I was in college, and I think I liked it at the time, but now can look back and be like, so problematic and not something I want to read. And I just don't really have any desire to read any more Colleen Hoover. The Demon King by Cinda Williams Chima. I got rid of the other books in the series last month and decided to give the first chapter of this book a try, and I have just realized high fantasy is not really my thing. I'm gonna try other high fantasies to test them out, and some of them are fine, but I've realized books kind of like this that are probably very immersive are also really hard for me to read because I'm just not a fantasy girl, really. So I just don't think that this book was made for me. What If It's Us by Becky Albertalli and Adam Silvera. I have read one each from these authors. I liked Simon versus the Homo sapiens Agenda, and I will probably read more from Becky Albertalli. I don't really have much interest of reading more Adam Silvera. I really didn't like, I was really meh about They Both Die at the End. It just didn't do much for me, and I had heard mixed reviews about this, and after reading the first chapter, I was like, you know, I'm good. YA contemporary is just not something I read a lot of anymore. It's not something I'm drawn to read anymore, and I feel like the ones that I'm going to read are going to be the ones that excite me and interest me in some way, and this just doesn't do that. So it's gonna go. Back to that whole fantasy isn't my thing. This is Three Dark Crowns by Kendar Blake. I was once upon a time obsessed with Reagan from the Peruse Project, and I would pretty much just buy or add to my wish list anything she talked about, until one day I realized I don't have the same reading taste as her, and I don't love fantasy that much. So I'm left with a lot of books that she recommended that I just am not going to get to because it's not my thing. So this is one of those. Other than her, I had actually heard pretty meh things about this, so it was pretty easy to let go of. It's about 3 sisters who are born and then separated, and then once they come of age, they will have to fight to the death for who gets to be queen. Sounds interesting. It's just not my thing. More Reagan recommendations. This was one of the first books I got when I joined BookTube. This is The Miniaturist by Jessie Barton. Historical fiction has to be a certain way for me to be engaged in it, and some historical fiction goes over really well for me and some of it doesn't. This, after trying it out, I was like, you know what? I just don't think this was for me, so I'm gonna get rid of it. So these last 2 books are books that I have read and didn't own copies of, and then I was at work and we have a withdrawn shelf and we are able to like pull a couple books from the withdrawn shelf. I also donated some money in exchange for these, but then once I got them home, I was like, you're not gonna reread those, you like shouldn't still have them. So first up we have The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides. I really did like this book. I know it has kind of mixed reviews on BookTube, but the general consensus is that this is amazing, and I agree. I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars when I read it, but this is a book you can read once, and a lot of thrillers are like that. It's a book you can read once and then that's it. So I'm not gonna reread this. I don't think I'd gain anything from rereading it, so it can go. I'm probably just gonna add it back to the withdrawn shelf so that they can sell it. Another book that I'm not going to reread is Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. I liked this when I read it. I gave it a 4-star. I've read the critiques of this and I do agree that it's extremely white for a look into female sexuality. It's extremely white, cisgender, heterosexual, so it shouldn't be female sexuality, it should be narrow scope. If I read it like that, I did like it, but I'm not gonna read it again. So I think I just got overexcited when I saw books on the withdrawn shelf that I was like, oh my gosh, I love that book. And then I was like, wait, why did you take this? So those are the 10 books that I'm getting rid of this month. I'm constantly going over my shelves with a fine-tooth comb to see if there's more I can get rid of. There's always more I can get rid of. There's already things in the back of my head that I'm like, you should get rid of that. So we'll see. I probably will be doing this monthly, which is probably a great thing because like I have too many books and I don't have a lot of space. So thank you guys so much for watching. Comment, like, subscribe, all the normal stuff, and I'll see you guys again super soon. Bye.